Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about how I do my pick-a-brick orders, and kind of show you guys what I go through to get all the parts for these cars and whatever projects I've modified in the past. Mostly just kind of showing you kind of how I do it and just everything that goes into making a pick-a-brick order. And so that way you guys can appreciate just what it takes me to get these cars built and modified. So I always start with the parts list. So I am on Rebrickable right now, and I always do the MOC compared to the set, compare inventories, and that gives me my list. And I'm not worried about the parts that are on the right side. It's the left side of this list that I'm after. So these parts on the left are all the parts that I need that the set does not include. So my first thing I tackle is I go through this whole list, and you guys can see how it's kind of laid out. They kind of go by color of parts. So it's, start off with the black, then had some other colors: gray, red, tan, some of the light and clear parts, white, and then some yellow at the end there. And so, I mean, you guys can see these lists are pretty extensive for these cars, and this is the list for the Ecto-1A. The Ecto-1 MOC is pretty much just as long, still a lot of parts, and so it takes a lot of parts to do these modifications. So this is just the base parts list, plus all the stuff I go and change from the MOC, my upgrades that I end up doing, which kind of changes my parts list. Sometimes it changes it quite a bit. So I always just start out with going from the basic list, and then I have to sort through all my inventory. So you guys kind of see in the background of my videos that I have a lot of parts in these containers, and I just recently got some more so I can sort some stuff down a little bit better. But all these parts, I got more parts over here, some more stuff kind of down here, more parts over here. So I got a lot of stuff. So I basically go through that whole list bit by bit, go through my whole inventory, and then pull out what I have available on the list. Now it does end up that I do have some things that aren't on the list, or I'm really low on parts and I don't have enough, and so then I have to start thinking about making a list of what I need to get the project done. And I always go through and sort out what I have, and that's kind of what you guys see here. So all these containers right here, and then some of this stuff right here is all stuff that I have sorted out for the next project, which is, as you guys saw in my last video, it's going to be the Ecto-1B. And also I have another little side project, so I needed some parts for that too. So you guys can see just various different types of parts, some various tiles, one by one plates, some Technic type stuff, more tiles, and all sorts of stuff. Pretty much the whole gamut of the whole list. And this bin here is just kind of my specialty parts bin. It's just a huge mix of just all sorts of special plates and tiles and different stuff for various projects that I just kind of always have sitting there. So I go through, and as I'm sorting this out, I make I make kind of a rough list of what I need, or I'll set the parts aside, so that way I know what I need, what color I need, and then I just have to try to remember how much of it I need. And then it's up to the after I get all that figured out, then I go to Lego's Pick-a-Brick, and I'll show you guys what I do to kind of help me, because Lego's Pick-a-Brick is a really huge list. I know a lot of people use Bricklink. I have always used Lego. Just my own preference. I prefer to buy directly from Lego. Yes, I know it's more expensive, and yes, I know sometimes you have to wait a while for the standard parts order, but I prefer to buy directly from Lego because I know the parts are brand new, unused. For sure. So I've seen a couple mistakes on Bricklink orders and some little mini nightmares from Bricklink orders. All of the Pick-a-Brick orders I've put in through Lego, I haven't had any parts missing. I haven't had issues with scratched parts. So I've had a good good history with Lego. But you guys can see here, it's like 156 pages. And you guys saw how long that took me to scroll to the bottom of that. So I typically use the filters, and I'll start with category. Actually, I'll start with piece type, and I'll do just Lego. If I need Technic parts, I'll do just Technic. Most of like the parts you see there, like those bricks with Technic holes in them, those are classified under just Lego. They're not on the Technic, so that kind of helps. And you guys can see that immediately limits my search to, was it 13,055 parts, so it's still quite a bit of parts. So once I have Lego selected, that gets rid of all the Technic and all the Duplo. And then I go to category, and then this kind of helps limit it down even more. So I'm not looking for animals and natures. I'm not looking for base plates. I am looking for bricks. And then I'm looking for buildings, and furniture has some stuff in it that I use quite readily, so I always include that. Cables, hoses, strings, of course I include that. Connectors, I include that. Fabric and textures, sometimes I do need some of that stuff, so I do always include that. Minifigure accessories does have quite a few parts that I use, but if I'm wanting to just get a big chunk of my list and I don't want to go through a ton of pages, I'll just go at this by itself. So then I'll kind of keep going. I'll do miscellaneous parts, plates, and then I also do vehicle and transportation, because sometimes I need some of those parts. So it is really nice how Lego has it to where now I don't have power functions, I don't have minifigure parts, I don't have minifigure accessories, and I don't have base plates and animal and nature, so that that cuts a lot of stuff out. So now my list is down to 9,829 parts. And pages of parts, it is should only be 99 pages of parts. Oop. Yeah, so you guys can see there, now I'm just down to 99 pages of parts, and that's a lot easier to go through than, 156 pages with everything. And then I go through page by page. I will take the time and click through, page 1, page 2, and I scroll through, and I take my time. Some pages don't have anything I need. Some Some pages have stuff that I do need, so I do take my time just to go through everything, make sure I'm really paying attention, because if I look away for just a minute and I'm still scrolling and I'm not paying attention, I'll pass by stuff that I need. So I always make sure to take my time when I do this. And I'll go through the list multiple times too, just to verify that I have everything I need. So as I'm going through that list, I'll look at my reference parts or anything that I've wrote down on a notepad that I need, and as I come across it, I'll write down the part number. I don't write down the color number because each part has two numbers. I'll just try to find a more simple part to reference for you guys. So like these parts here. That big number right there, that's the color. That's the color number for that part. So it does act as a part number and a color number. So if you just wanted to find this specific part, that's what you need. Those are the part numbers that Lego puts in their manuals. So when you are looking at the tail end of your instruction books for Lego, and you see this big long number underneath the part, that's not just the part number, that is also the specific color. I like to work off of just the part numbers because I can just type in that shorter number and it brings all the parts in the color, in whatever color. So as I'm picking, you know, if I need some of these in black, some of these in white, and some of these in red, they're all right here and I can pick them all at the same time. So that's another way I kind of save time, is just using the part number and not the color part number. So all these part numbers that I have wrote down here are just the part number, and then I make a note of how many of those I need. So, you know, part 11211, I need 10 of those in gray. Part 13547, I need 10 of those in black. And you guys can see I have a lot of scribble outs on this list, and some things are crossed out, and you know, plans change as I kind of go through my pick-a-brick. And some stuff you know, if I'm completely out of it, I'll order quite a bit just so that way I have it in my stock. Some stuff I have a bit of it in my stock, but I don't really have enough, or I'm gonna be using it all up. I will order extra just so I have it in my stock. And you guys can see, like, some of these parts I do need quite a large amount of. So this 3024, those are the these 1x1 plates. And I kind of changed my numbers on there, but I got 150 black ones, 150 white ones, and 150 yellow ones. So quite a few of those, because the next project's going to eat through a lot of those. So that's kind of how I make my lists. I go through everything, verify that the colors that I need are on there, verify that my quantity that I want is a good quantity, and then I'll go through and I'll pick the whole list. I'll go on there and you know, scroll through. I'll pick everything, write it down, make sure I got everything. I'll go through, pick it all, and then I go back through my list one by one, and that's where I have these little check marks by most stuff. All those little check marks means I double checked that and made sure that I had it picked, made sure I had it picked in the right color, make sure I had it picked in, you know, multiple colors if I needed it, made sure I had the right quantity that I needed. And I'll just go through and I'll take the time and I'll double check this whole list, because this is important stuff. If I miss one part and I don't have it for the project, that's super annoying, to where, you know, I build a whole car and there's one part that I missed. So that's why I go through and take my time, and I double and triple check everything before I put the order in, because I want to make sure I have exactly what I need. And so this particular list has all the parts I need for the 1B, plus parts for another little side project. So this has quite a few parts on it. My earlier pick-a-brick list, I've always wrote them down a little different. Like, it's not always exactly the same. I've been a little bit more specific with, like, what's the part number, what's the color, and all that stuff. I've had it wrote out a little bit nicer, but this is basically just how it is. Trying to do it within a timely manner, so that way I'm not spending like a whole week. It basically takes me, after work, I only have a couple hours a night to sort through all these parts, so it takes me a whole week just to go through this whole list of parts here. A couple hours a night, that takes me a whole week to go through all those and pick what I can out of my inventory, write down or set aside what I need. And so it's a pretty lengthy process sometimes. And you know, I really have to make sure I keep track of everything. I don't want to miss anything. Now this one was a little tougher because it's the Ecto-1B, but I'm pulling parts from the 1A list because the interior is going to be the same, but the exterior is going to be different. So I had to plan ahead for that. And so some of these parts I didn't need. So I made sure to keep track of what I needed, what I didn't need. So it was extra time on this list. Do I need this for the exterior? Do I need this for the interior? I don't need a certain part. So it takes, when I gotta look at it like that, it takes even longer because I really gotta make sure I'm not ordering parts that I don't need right now. So that's another thing that takes quite a while. And then I've put bigger, I've had bigger pick-a-brick orders than this one. Even though this looks like a fairly big order, it's only 89 individual, different types of parts. So just 89 different types of parts. Altogether, it's 2,110 parts. So this whole list right here is 2,010 parts. Now, that all adds up to almost $250. So yes, it is very expensive getting large pick-a-bricks from Lego. It is less expensive the less parts you get, but there's, each one of these lines is a different type of part. And I've run into this in the past where I actually hit Lego's limit on how many different types of parts you can get. And so like my quantities aren't what's causing that issue. It's the fact that I have, X amount, not 89, but X amount of different types of parts. I've had pick-a-brick orders that were over 100 different types of parts. And I'm not sure what Lego's threshold is on that. I can't remember offhand what the max amount of different types of parts is, but I have hit that wall and it sucks because I always hit it. In the past, I've always hit it when I wasn't done with my list. So then I have to rethink everything. So I try to be a little smart about what I get, how much of it I get, and it's actually saved me a lot of headache and even some money in the long run. I can show you guys in this book. I have just a couple other pick-a-brick orders on this because I have wrote them down on different sticky notes. I used to use sticky notes, so this is just this was an order. That's quite a lot of parts. This order ended up being 95 different types of parts. But then you guys see I wrote this one out a little bit nicer, part, color, quantity. So my quantities are all kind of different. But I try to build up my stock with these pick-a-bricks, get what I need, but also kind of fill certain things on my stock so that way the next time I do a pick-a-brick, I don't need quite as much. So it is kind of a lengthy process just with the projects that I have and some of the things that I use quite a bit, and use, some things I'm going to use up quicker than others. So I also try to work that into my lists. But it's a lot of work to get the pick-a-brick lists together, order the parts for these cars. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, not just building the car, not just, doing the MOC, making my modifications on top of the MOC. I have to think ahead and make sure I have all the parts that I need. And so far I've done pretty good. I haven't, any one of these cars up here, I haven't run into the issue where I forgot to order a part, and so I couldn't finish the car for like another month or two. So I've been very fortunate with that, and also just, making sure I kind of keep up on my stock has helped that. And taking time to go through my lists, taking time to double, triple check everything and make sure I have everything that I need from that list, and make sure it gets on my pick-a-brick. And it's a lot of scrolling, it's a lot of time just sitting here scrolling through parts. Making sure that I have everything that I need on these. So it does, it's a lot of time just sitting here scrolling. Oh, it's like, I need that, pick it, how much do I need, what color do I need? So it's a lot of that stuff. And that's pretty much just what I wanted to show you guys, just all of what it takes to do a pick-a-brick order for these cars. It's, you guys see in the videos how much work I put into building the cars, but I've never really talked about what it takes for me to order all these parts, find the parts, make sure I have what I need, and order everything. It's a ton of work, a lot of time, and a lot of money, because pick-a-brick is not cheap, like I've showed you guys. Yes, you can probably get it cheaper from Bricklink, but you're potentially buying from multiple buyers. So if I were to go after this particular list on Bricklink, I'd most likely have to go through a couple different sellers, and most of them being foreign. Might get lucky with some American, and then just trying to find unused parts. I've found, the first time I kind of looked through Bricklink, there's a lot of good used parts, or, poor condition used parts. I want new Legos. When I buy Legos, I want new. I want them to be fresh. I want them to be clean. I want them new. And I want to make sure that I'm getting what I ordered. And Lego, for me, has never let me down. I'm buying it all from one company. Yes, I do have two countries that I'm dealing with. The bestsellers parts. So like you guys see on this list, some parts say bestseller and some don't. So this will come from an American Lego factory. This will come from the Denmark Lego factory. So I'm still dealing with Lego, one company, but two different factories. So, standard parts, for me, it takes, I think, anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks, so potentially a month on waiting for standard parts, which is fine, because when I do these projects, I have other stuff going on, and I'm not in a rush to get these parts, so that's always something else I've been pretty good at, is I've never just had a time where I'm sitting here with nothing to work on and waiting for parts. I've been able to span projects, like when you guys saw the videos on the Titanic rebuild, and the rebuild that I did prior to that, so you guys know I've done a few different rebuilds on the Titanic. that's a prime time for me to put in a pick-a-brick order, because I'm not waiting on those parts. I have other things I can put my mind on, and whenever the parts get here is, whenever. So I always try to plan ahead, so that way I'm not just bored waiting for stuff. So that's always something that I take into consideration. Like putting in this order right now, it is, the weather's getting better. It's getting summertime. I have other hobbies that I like to put a lot of time towards. So I'm to that point where I'm going to take a break from Lego and kind of concentrate on some of that stuff. And then when I come back to Lego, I'll have all that stuff ready to go, and then we can jump right into that project and build everything I need. So a lot of behind the scenes planning goes into all these projects that you guys see on my channel. I try my best to think about kind of an order of operations of how I want to do stuff. And so far it's gone pretty smoothly. I haven't had projects clash. I haven't had, I'm waiting on this part before I can finish this, and then I'll do this for a bit, but then I have this project going on. I try to just concentrate on one project at a time. Other than when I did the Afterlife and Frozen Empire, that was the only time I built 2 cars at the same time, and that was kind of a tough thing, because that was a lot of, you guys saw the video, I had a lot of parts scattered all over the place, plus trying to build 2 cars and all that madness. So I try not to do 2 projects at the same time, because it's too much. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to kind of go through on how I go about making a pick-a-brick, how I kind of use the filters on Lego's website to help me go through a pick-a-brick, and that's stuff that I kind of had to learn on my own. The first pick-a-brick order I ever did, I was going through that entire 156 pages and scrolling forever looking for parts, and those were also the times where I was hitting the part limit because I didn't know they had a part limit. I still don't know what that number is, but I've hit it. So I try to manage my pick-a-bricks a little bit better. I know I can get at least 95, if not more, different parts. Probably over 100 different parts, but anything over 100 different type of parts, I would imagine you're getting pretty close to hitting that wall of where they won't let you pick any more different types of parts. And the colors of those parts are also included in the different types of parts. So not only, is this, this part to this part is different, but this part and this part are different because they're different colors, but it's the same part. So they still categorize that as a different part. So that's something else to really take into consideration. Now, on Bricklink, you don't have that. But like I said, me personally, I prefer to buy directly from Lego. I know there's a lot of people that swear by Bricklink. I have a really good friend of mine. That's all he uses is Bricklink, because he thinks Lego is too expensive. And yes, it is expensive, but you get 100% brand new parts, and that's what I want. I want good, clean parts. So that's just my side of things. I like to buy from Lego. I'm kind of a Lego purist, if you guys haven't really noticed. I don't like non-Lego branded Lego sets. I like, them to be from Lego. I like my parts to be from Lego. So I'm kind of a purist when it comes to that. I don't like to really step outside of Lego themselves. So, but just wanted to show you guys a little glimpse of all the work it takes. So it's not just, building the MOC, modifying the MOC for my own details and stuff. It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, like a ton of behind the scenes work that I put into making these orders just to build the car. And then on average, each one of those cars has probably taken me about 3.5 weeks to build. So it's a lot of time just in one of those cars. You know, multiple months just in from the time I start working on the order to putting in the order, waiting for the parts to come, waiting for the kit. Because I have to buy the actual Ecto Afterlife set from Lego as well. So it's a lot of wait time. But like I said, I always have another project going on where I'm not just sitting here bored. So, but that's enough talking. Just wanted to kind of show you guys everything that goes into it, and hopefully, if some of you guys are kind of looking into doing one of these cars, this kind of shows you everything it takes to build one of these cars. If you want to build the MOC, if you want to modify it, if you want to do my modifications to make things even more detailed and better, this is what it takes to do that. So that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. A lot of talking, I know, sorry, but just kind of wanted to show you guys. So that's it. So until next time, take care.